What's up, everybody? We'll begin in just a second. Hear the sound in here. We'll begin in just a second. Can you maybe turn this light off and it stays on? Yeah, that's better. What is this, lecture 28? It's one of those. All right, we're live. I may actually, did you already share the YouTube video?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and keep it going, because I like to wait for people on Facebook to join. I should have started the YouTube video a little bit later. Maybe afterwards I will edit it. Yeah, so we'll give it just a few minutes for the Facebook group to subscribe while I wait for, or not to subscribe, to join in. While we wait for them, I'll give the brief description of the Silent Flute, which is my online training program for yoga and mindset training. Once a week on Monday nights, which is tonight, I give a 1-hour lecture. And the lecture has a Q&A portion. There's basically a private Facebook group where members who have subscribed, it's $97 a month, they are in the group and they have access to the archive of videos. And in this once-a-week lecture, they can ask questions. In all of the live videos, they can ask questions, which brings me to a second component of the program, is 5, sometimes 4, but usually 5 short videos per week of 5 to 10 minute practices. Like today we did some shoulder therapy with some interesting gyrating motions, and combined that with self-image. That is a major component of mindset training, is self-image. And so if the people on Facebook, they see I'm looking down and it's the phone, which is the YouTube, and the people at YouTube, you see me looking up at the camera, that's for the Facebook group. So we have a couple joined, and we'll wait for a couple more to join. And then in addition to that, we have bi-weekly check-ins with me. The content of the program largely has to do with my personal studies, my personal practice, and then how I communicate that. What is the vocabulary of Hatha Yoga? What is the vocabulary of Raja Yoga? And what is the vocabulary that most works with the current person? The current human on planet Earth has a vocabulary at their disposal, and ultimately the vocabulary reduces the experience. The experience of yoga and the experience of your own mind and your own consciousness, the thing that you can hold most dear and most private. Every human being, from the newborn to you and I, to all the way until your very end, that thing that you hold most dear is your own consciousness and your own experience of it. So that goes beyond words. So obviously I don't lecture on your personal experience of consciousness, but there are techniques that are ancient and some more modern and everything in between that I study and practice that help to increase your own awareness of yourself. And so this is what I teach in the Silent Flute, and I'll give, in about 2 minutes, I'll begin, and I'm just going to look over my notes briefly. Also, I'll put the link in the comments of how to sign up for this. Oh no. Huh. I think my computer's about to restart on like an auto. Hmm. Hmm. Uh, Here, let me use your phone and I'll go live on the Facebook group. That's inconvenient. What is this? I need to. Okay. How do I go live?
You found it?
You set it up and make it work. Sideways, of course, you know. Cool. Well, now they don't have to be.
Is
I
it
don't have to
facing you
look
or is it
at. Well, it doesn't look like it's facing anywhere. Hmm. Hmm. So, I guess restart it. I don't know. It looks like it's facing. Looks like it's not working. That's what it looks like.
assume?
Sure. Try it. I'd get out of it. Let me see this. Hmm. Yeah, I'll go back to Facebook. Finish. Delete it.
Start. See?
We'll start in just a second. There's a slight technical difficulty. Citta Prasad.
Can I start a company?
Hmm?
My company?
What? Speak. Never mind, don't speak. You got a mouthful. It won't go sideways. Ah.
That is sideways.
No, that's not sideways. I mean, try it. Why not? I don't care. It doesn't work then.
I was saying if I can use my computer.
Hmm. Tell you what, because sorry, viewers, I'll need to do this again because we have only of 3 devices. We have 1 device now that's going to apparently function right now, and I need to go into the Facebook group to give the lecture. So I was going to do a 2B for the first part, give a part of the lecture on YouTube, and the full lecture would be on Facebook. But so I need to do the full lecture using this device, and so maybe next week I'll give a little bit. Yeah, that's just the way it has to be for right now. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week. Feel free to check out. I already have. What is he going to work on that?
Yeah, why would
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll try it. So I'll just put the name for it later. Let's see. 28. Citta Prasad. Go live. Very interesting. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. All right, so we're live. I mean, the YouTube audience had 12 minutes to warm up, and Facebook is none. They're just going to join in because I've made the YouTube wait for so long. So, welcome everyone to the Silent Flute lecture. This is the 28th lecture, and those who subscribe do have access to the full archive. In addition, for the last 12 weeks, I've been adding 4 to 5 short videos each week of practices, which include mental practices, physical practices, and linguistics, breathing, and how to integrate all of this and achieve something, achieve some state, which is what we're going to talk about right now. In the Yoga Sutras which is an old Sanskrit text, talks about a disturbed mind field called Citta Vikshepa. Vikshepa would be like cloudy, and Citta is individual consciousness. You, as an individual consciousness, occasionally have disturbed or cloudy thoughts, and on other occasions you have clear thoughts. Now, the interesting phenomenon being here in the physical reality is we don't know. For example, you don't know that you're sick, or you don't know that you're healthy until you're sick. You don't know that you have a stomach until you have a stomach ache. You don't know that you have a head until there's a headache. You're just not paying attention to things until they're not working right. Because when things are working right, you're paying attention to other things that aren't working. There's always something going wrong. And that's where your attention goes, is to that thing that's going wrong. The opposite seems to be true for mind, and here's why. And what I mean by opposite is that you... So like in the body, you don't know that you were healthy until you're sick, and then you realize that you were healthy. In the moment, it's not on the radar. With the mind, you don't know that you have or had a disturbed mind until you free it up. You're not aware of how cloudy or agitated that your mind field is, your citta, until you release that and relieve that. In either case, it's the law of gender, so the opposite they define each other. Sickness defines health. You need sickness to feel healthy. And you need a disturbed mind to feel and experience a blessed mind, anointed mind, which is Citta Prasad. Prasad is anointed. And what we're going to talk about today are a few techniques in the Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga method that can transform Citta Vikshepa into Citta Prasad. One of these techniques, I'll give one technique for the YouTube audience, and then we're going to do the rest on the Facebook group. To sign up for the Silent Flute, you go to ninthlim.com. I'll put the link under this after I finish the recording or the streaming, and you sign up there. And then you get the archive of everything, including the exercise videos. One technique has to do with the form of breathing called ujjayi. Ujjayi is often translated as victorious breath or the warrior's breath or the breath of sound, and that characterizes it, the breath of sound especially. But it's my favorite translation of ujjayi is the breath of the jungle doctor. And if you can imagine for a moment, living medieval times, hundreds of years ago, before really like the steam engine, let's say, medieval, in southern India with jungle all around. Huge trees, like the canopy is blocking out the sun. Tigers are common. Big venomous snakes. Elephants might, trample you. You need to stay vigilant. You need to stay on guard, aware, ready. But if you're only ready, you become stiff, tense. If you're always ready and on guard, then there's actually a reduction in reaction time. I know this as, like I was a runner or I was a wrestler, a competitor. And if you over warm up, you actually reduce your performance. You don't want to over warm up, and especially for things like wrestling, where you might have a competition that's day long. You want to, and you don't necessarily know exactly when you're going to step up to compete. They could call it depends. Lots of variables. So you want to be very, very close to being ready. But if you stay too close all day, you'll be so exhausted by the end, assuming you make it to the finals or some championship round, you'll be fatigued. So it's this balance of readiness and calm, relaxation, ease. Readiness, ease. If you get too much ease, you fall asleep, you get dormant. The tiger comes and get you. You see where I'm going with this. If you were a yogi or a jogi, as they call them, then you would probably be more or less a loner. You're a renunciate or an ascetic. So you renounce pleasures, for the sake of observing what happens to your own consciousness and your own systems in your body when you renounce things like food, water, sleep, social connections. I'm not advocating these sorts of things. These are just examples. And even more extreme austerities. Some Indian yogi people, they do very extreme things that I wouldn't do. So you're walking through the jungle in South India by yourself. You don't have a tribe or a pack of warriors that you're going with. You're not like on a war party. You're just by yourself. You got to be ready for if there's the smell of the tiger in the air. And you got to be ready if you hear the of a snake. And you need to know if you're walking into a bear's territory where there might be cubs. You need to be always ready and at the same time calm, because you won't live very long if you're always releasing cortisol. And you're not going to be digesting the food properly. And if you're an ascetic and you're not eating very much food and you're not digesting it well, then you're going to have malnutrition. So those yogis who survived long enough to pass on their knowledge and or maybe to reproduce, because they do that also, it's just, once in a blue moon, to pass on their genes and their memes. I got that backwards. Their genes and their memes, reference to Richard Dawkins. Then they successfully stayed alert and calm at the same time. And this is ujjayi, the breath of the jungle doctor, that wards off danger, because just a soft, subtle sound. And the sound is much more than what you hear. Listening is more than just picking up vibrations of sound, of air compressions, because the clue is in body language. For example, body language is speaking to us all, but there's no sound. So listening is also in looking, and I could do that for other senses too. Listening is a full body experience. So the breath of sound, it's not just the breath of sound, it's the breath of the jungle doctor. Now, you've probably heard people do it loudly. It's almost like a snore, but you can taper that down very, 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 very soft so that only you can hear it, and you might not even hear it. You might only feel it, and you can cross that sense, and you can listen to the feeling. This will help to keep you alert and calm. And going back to the first key point, one way to know if your chitta is disturbed, chitta vikshepa, is the quality of your ujjayi breath. And it's okay. It's okay. You need chitta vikshepa to clarify what is Citta Prasad. And it's more desirable to have Citta Prasad because we make better decisions, and our strings are less pulled by, other people's communications and actions and so on. You get it. I don't think I need to really explain why that would be better. So now I will end the YouTube live stream portion of this. I'm going to go deeper into how to utilize ujjayi during the yoga practice. And you go to ninthbloom.com. There's a Silent Flute tab. You sign up there. And I hope to see you all in the group. So namaste, YouTube audience. Bye-bye.